Well, I'm sorry for the delayed start. I didn't think it was working. Oh, well, back in the shadow again. Sorry about that. Um, it's hard. I'm hard pressed to look at the news in the morning and find something that isn't about politics or the war or some sort of war or violent storm or something like that. Something with a lot of death involved in it. And I'm sitting here and I'm going back and I said, well, what was the news like when you were a kid? And well, I grew up. Uh, I was born in '46, so I grew up in the '50s and '60s and whatnot. And I started out with newsreels and stuff like that, and that was all about the Korean War or some other disaster in the world. That's what they did. That's what they talked about. Politics wasn't a big issue back then. They would elect a president, he's a great man and all that. And then everybody would just sort of sit around and watch things happen. There wasn't a lot of uh, verbal presentation because the media wasn't there. The desire for it might have been there for information, but the information wasn't quite as available as it is now. Now your problem is let's sit down and see what's real, you know, and I find that to be even harder to deal with than uh, the violence and whatnot that's permeated all the newscasts and everything. How do you know what's real? You know, I know Donald Trump's a liar, so I don't worry about anything he says as being real unless it's a threat against somebody, because then he means what he says when he threatens people. He's he's like Al Capone. He has no fear of consequences. Capone didn't have that either until they got him on tax evasion. He thought and same thing with the New York Teflon Don. I can't remember his name. That's my problem with being old. I should write this stuff down. Anyhow, he was the same way. He didn't think he could get caught. He didn't think he'd be convicted. These are just the things that go on with people with these massive egos. But getting back to what I was saying, I said, so you can take Trump out of the equation. What's left? You still got people you don't know whether they're talking real shit or they're just that stupid. You know. Bobbitt or Bobbitt, whatever she's called, Marjorie Taylor Greene, even AOC. I mean, you just don't know what these people are saying. Um, I don't know. I wish I could turn on the TV and find something that was not a disaster. Um, Oh, I was going to put something up, but I don't have it anymore. Okay. All right. Sorry about that. Um, it was about wishing that the kids, today could remember Christmas in the 60s, 70s, and even the early 80s, which I remember. I mean, things like Christmas I thought was always for kids. It wasn't for us guys. It was for kids. Forget the religion. It was for kids. Santa Claus, the stores, all the decorations, going to Times Square and not having to, go through 9,000 searches and stuff like that. And if you wanted to go outside and pee, you could come back in real easy, not like today. And that's another thing. You take away the experiences that people can have, when you have, and they did that in 9/11. That was the final straw for a lot of stuff like this. I mean, yeah, some people went over the edge on that because they wanted restrictions and everything anyhow, so they just used that as an excuse. But I mean, it happened. Uh, and the thing I get real shook up about, where 9/11 is concerned, is the way we react to security and how Trump and everybody's looking at Mexico. Yeah, Mexico's got drugs coming through it, but Miami's got drugs coming out of Cuba all day long and coming out of Colombia, where I live. They go up the coast and they've built submarines and everything else, Uh, you have, it's just, I don't know what to say anymore, It's really a pathetic state of affairs that we're in here right now, where everything that was trusted and good is now questioned. And maybe rightfully so. Maybe we should have questioned it years ago. I don't know. But I know that not the information, because, information people lied about back then, and it was difficult to prove it. We never would have known anything about what went on with Nixon if it hadn't been for the reporters of the Washington Post. Investigative reporting. I don't see that being done anymore, I remember I lost faith in the justice system when O.J. walked. They screwed that up so bad. I don't know who paid. Somebody had to be paid off or something. I don't know. I don't want to say anything about that because I wasn't in the rooms when these trials were taking place. There was a TV trial, the first big one we ever had. But you get guys like Trump. They can pretty much say anything they want. They can threaten anybody they want, and nothing's being done about it. Nobody's telling them, "Hey, man, why don't you just shut up and sit in a corner?" You don't hear that. Marjorie Taylor Greene is allowed to say things that are just completely stupid. Like the earthquake is God telling us is to vote Republican. That Trump has to be elected because this is God's going to punish us otherwise. And there's people that believe that. You get people with religion, I always thought, even when we were going through affirmative action in schools and everything like that, and women rights and everything, I always felt that for some reason we're afraid of other people. We're afraid of seeing somebody better than us, You got a cost of living that nobody understands why. Products go up when the demand goes up. Okay, and then you have people that want more money, and when they want more money, the companies want more money. These people that want to come out with a universal salary structure actually have the right idea. I don't think it'll work. I think it's too far down the road, but I think it'd be the rich people would never go for it because that means that they would lose some income. But that's actually how you survive. If you want to survive, is a national basic income. And I don't mean the minimum wage or something like that. I say everybody gets this. That's it. But people say that the big thing against that is what's the incentive to work? You want to eat, you work. But we'll have to wait and see what happens. I don't know whether there'll be any great revelations today to make tomorrow any better than today was, newsworthy wise and everything like that. But we'll have to wait and see. I'll do some research. I'll dig deep and see what I can come up with. In the meantime, have a great Saturday. I'll see you tomorrow.